I'm Tisha Lewis, and this is The Good Word. For those joining us for the first time, welcome. And for those returning, welcome back for your daily dose of faith, inspiration, and the good word. Joining us is Mimi Frazier, breast cancer survivor, also the founder of the Linkage Wellness Institute, focusing on men and women navigating health challenges, and you were pouring your passion into disease prevention and also treatment. Yes. Mimi, you have an incredible story. Tell us.
Well, I was diagnosed in 2015 with stage 3 invasive breast cancer. Scared me half to death, but it kind of woke me up and put a fire underneath me as well. During the time of my treatments and things like that, I created Linkage Beauty Movement, which was just a small initiative online. At first, I wanted to kind of connect with women and let them know that they weren't alone. By doing that, I ended up creating Linkage Wellness Institute, which is a whole institute of resources, tools, access, love, care, things like that.
What's interesting about your story is that you did everything right. You did get checked. Mm-hmm. You did get your mammogram.
Did.
You did go to the doctor.
I did.
And what happened? Don't sugarcoat it either.
Okay. So when I first went and I was misdiagnosed, I won't say by whom, but I was misdiagnosed, and I went about 4 or 5 more years without paying attention to what I was told and things like that. And so I was very young and I was living my life and in school and working. And so I was afraid to kind of deal with it, but I knew something was wrong.
And you were misdiagnosed with what? I believe it was a cystic fibrosis?
Yes, cystic breast fibrosis in the breast. Yes.
And a lot of women are diagnosed with that.
Yes.
So it sounded very normal to you.
Yes.
And like so many people at the time, because this was how many years ago?
Oh my goodness, this was back in 2012, 2013.
Okay. So at the time, you were afraid to speak up.
Yes.
You were afraid to advocate for yourself.
Yes.
You got in the doctor's office and you were hesitant and apprehensive about asking all the questions and all the things.
Yes, I was scared.
Like so many women and also even men.
Sure, yeah. I was very scared when you get told that you have cancer, and then at the stage that it was, you really don't know what to do. So you kind of have to take a deep breath and try to figure things out. And so that's what I did. It did take me some time to figure things out, but I'm glad that I went back to get another opinion to see what was wrong.
And so figuring things out looked like what?
Very scary. I was alone because I didn't really have that many people to talk about breast cancer. It's not like I had breast cancer in my family or anything like that. So I was very afraid, but just having to deal with all these doctors and talking to different people every day, you kind of get the strength and the courage to kind of speak up for yourself and start asking the questions and trying to figure things out.
So tell us about your process and your journey
Sure.
from that point to
Sure.
when you and I connected, reconnected.
I went through chemotherapy, of course. I went through a double mastectomy. I went through radiation, and I'm still in treatment now, which is hormone therapy treatment, but it's very aggressive kind of hormone therapy. And so it's been definitely a time, but you have to have that will to live and that will to serve others. And that's basically what happened to me during this process. Once I got sick and I had a lot of time on my hands to kind of figure things out, I chose a path and I decided to serve others, and I created Linkage.
You've been very transparent and very vulnerable and very open about your journey, especially on social media. And so salute to you. But the response has not always been so kind.
No. I would say your family is the first that you get the surprises from, as far as them not understanding what you're going through and how you want to make a difference in the world. And so that's where I came from. I just want to make a difference, and I wanted women to see that it's not just them, they're not alone. I'm going through the same thing, and look, I'm confident enough to do it, you can too. And so although very important people like my father, he would prefer me not to take photos without a shirt on and things like that, but he definitely understands why I do it.
But you took topless
Yes.
pictures after your double mastectomy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Why?
Again, I wanted women to see that this is real and that this is a thing and that you can move on from it and you can learn to accept the beauty of it because you can either let cancer take you down or you can let it bring you up. And I decided that I was going to allow it to bring me up as well as bringing everyone else up with it. And so showing that I'm strong and being confident and showing my scars, I think helps women feel more confident in their journey.
Was there ever a moment where you regretted doing that?
No, not at all. Everything that I do is with purpose. And I'm on a mission to save as many lives as I can and to spread as much love as I can. And so, no, I don't regret anything about this experience.
When you put that out there for the world to see, and there were responses, and some of them were not so nice, what moment we'll call them the trolls, we all have them.
Yeah.
Was there ever a moment where something that was said got to you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And what was that moment?
I don't really like to even talk about it that much because we have so much going on in the world, but there is some issues with racism and things like that within the breast cancer community, so I dealt with that a lot, and I was very taken aback.
Okay, wait a minute, let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, fine, okay. As far as healthcare in the system is concerned, I believe that Black women do not get the treatment as others do. I felt that way as far as being misdiagnosed as well. Like I felt because I was a Black woman that I was just told, hey, this happens to all the women, don't worry about it.
And that's not just unique to breast cancer or cancer diagnosis.
Yeah.
There's also been a conversation that is ongoing and continual about the disproportionate treatment and services and provision afforded to Black and brown women in the maternal fetal medicine space as well.
Yes, this is true. And so we often feel like people look through us instead of looking at us and listening to what we have to say. And so that's why it's so important for me to continue to do what I do.
And so what has been, the hardest part about doing what you do?
Not being able to do more. I have sleepless nights because I want to do more. There's so many women in the world who are dying, who are suffering, who don't have the resources, who don't have the support, and that's what keeps me up at night. And so that's why I work so hard.
And that's what caused you to create?
Yes.
Linkage Wellness Institute.
Yes.
Which started with Linkage Beauty Movement.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the beginning of Linkage Beauty Movement before we get to the Linkage Wellness Institute.
So Linkage Beauty Movement was just an online initiative that I created that I wanted to send out gift boxes, and I wanted to do highlights of women who were fighting cancer. And so I created that space on Instagram, and now we're on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube as well.
Why do you help others?
I think once I was faced with life or death, because once I was diagnosed, I was only given a 30% chance of survival. Even with the treatment plan that they had intact, they still were very apprehensive about my survival, so they gave me 30-40%. And so when I noticed that I was doing better in chemo and that I was surviving the part that they said that I wouldn't, I started to get like a little bit of confidence, and I knew that I would survive, and I set in my heart that I would survive, and my reasoning for being here is to help others, and so that's what I wanted to do.
So not only were you misdiagnosed, not only were you trolled online, you then start this foundation while people are telling you that you are not going to survive.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What was that like?
It just gave me more ammo. Like I'm a very strong person. Like I've
Clearly.
been through a lot. Yeah, I've been through a lot, like even my childhood and things like that. So being diagnosed with cancer definitely was a huge blow, but it just was another way of God showing me that I'm chosen and that I'm here for a reason. And so I just want to serve others and change lives.
We are here in the Washington, D.C. area for folks watching, also known as the DMV.
Yes.
And what would you say in terms of fact or fiction? What's kind of the biggest myth surrounding breast cancer?
The biggest myth is that everyone loves pink and everyone is so happy and it's like a whole bunch of propaganda surrounded around the pink ribbon in the color pink, when it's much more than that. Even the month of October, it's like breast cancer is 365 days a year. So it's not just October. So that's why I just make it my mission to talk about it every day, to make sure that women know that it's important, our health and our wellness. Men too, please go get checked and things like that.
And it's important to know we are not sitting down right now during the month of October.
No.
Because as you mentioned, it's a conversation that takes place every day.
Yes.
When people call the Linkage Wellness Institute for help or
Sure.
resources, what would you say is the biggest need?
Communication and connection, because you would think that people would draw closer to you when you are diagnosed, but the real thing is that they draw like away from you. A lot of people that love you, it's not that they don't support you or love you, they're scared as well, and they're afraid of what could possibly happen. Everyone's like, oh, cancer, death. That's the only thing they think about. They don't think about survival, recovery, healing, things like that. And so that's what we focus on at Linkage Wellness Institute.
And did you experience this sense of loss
Yes,
as well?
Absolutely. Almost the whole entire time. So many good things happen, but so many bad things happen too. Like while I was fighting, right after my double mastectomy, me and my husband separated. And so I was left, to kind of deal with all these things on my own, but it made me stronger. Like that's all I can say about every trial or challenge that I've faced. It's made me stronger and it made me go harder after what I want to do.
What is it that keeps you going? What is it that inspires you now?
Just life.
What is your why?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I was watching this video on TikTok. Yes,
Okay.
I'm on TikTok.
It's okay.
And the person in the video said, once you find your why, like, what is your why? Once you know and you find your why, run with it. Mm-hmm. Let that be the fuel and the
Exactly.
fire under your feet.
Exactly. And so I just take all the negativity that I've ever heard about myself that people expressed, and when I'm having my down moments or when I'm having a time where I'm facing difficulty, I just think about that, and it just gets me going. And so instead of it bringing me down and making me depressed or stressed out, I let it ignite me and I let it push me forward.
And what would be your message?
My message is to do everything you possibly can to stay healthy. Be mindful about your wellness, women and men, physical, emotional, mental, all of that. All of those things are important. And we specialize in the advancement of women and men's health and wellness after diagnosis. So Linkage Wellness Institute is always here.
Okay, and we're not just talking about health without talking about health care.
Yes, absolutely.
Make the dollars make sense. Mm-hmm. We are talking about a journey so many people are navigating: healthcare, health insurance, money.
Yes.
How did you do it?
Oh my gosh, by the grace of God, first and foremost, but you are more or less, you get more coverage without work insurance. If you have work insurance, you kind of get into kind of scary territory because you're not sure what can be covered. When you have work and employment insurance, you pretty much are covered by basic things, not specialty doctors. And when you have cancer or any ailments or diseases, that's considered specialty, and so you have to pay out of pocket for that.
And that was also considered scary territory for you.
Very much.
You shared a story with me, and this was when you were working.
Yes.
So you had health insurance, and you needed shots for your treatment. Mm-hmm. How much were those shots? And I want everybody to listen closely.
They're $1,000 a shot.
One more time?
$1,000 a shot.
$1,000 a shot.
Yes.
That was your patient-owed portion.
Yes, and that's 2 shots, by the way, because I have to get 2 at a time.
And that didn't include like additional medication?
No.
Additional treatment?
No.
So how are people affording this?
Unfortunately, a lot of them are not, and so women do not survive because of things like this. It's not just because they can't find a cure and things like that. It's because women cannot afford to get the cure or the treatment and things like that. And so I was one of those, and so I know exactly how that feels.
So how were you able to get this covered eventually? Walk us through that journey.
With my diagnosis, it made it very difficult for me to work. So once I get my treatment, it's hard for me to walk for up to like 2 weeks afterwards. So I had to go back into receiving Medicaid and things like that. And so when you are covered by government insurance, things like Medicaid, they cover things 100%. And so I'm very blessed and I'm very fortunate that because of Medicaid, they cover everything, even my medications. So I don't have to worry about that. But if I were able to go back to work, that would be my number one fear.
That you wouldn't have
enough
the
to
coverage.
cover it. Yeah.
Enough coverage.
Mm-hmm. Even if you're making $60,000, $70,000 a year, if you have to pay thousands of dollars each paycheck, or if you do your budgeting and you have to put out so much money every month, it's hard to cover your bills, the basic things, your rent, car payment, things like that, and taking care of your health stuff. So it's a pretty scary ordeal.
So what resources are out there for people?
Well, another thing is that when you're newly diagnosed, there's so much more out there for you. But when you are dealing with women like such as myself, when you're fighting cancer 5+ years, the resources kind of dry up, the programs dry up.
Why is that?
I have no idea. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. And that's why I work so hard, because I want us to be able to be funded enough so we can help on a continuous basis and not just say, well, this year we can help women, but next year we can't, and things like that. I want to continuously be able to help in any way that I can, whether it be small or big, because we need help overall.
You know, you mentioned an interesting point about how it was when you were not working that you were able to get more help and more resources and more coverage.
Yes.
What's your concerns? You know, what are the concerns about that? What did your doctor say?
I mean, doctors. So, I mean, they have a whole different mindset from the patient, you know, because the doctor is not going through what we're going through. They're only there to kind of guide us through, I would say. So they give us their best advice, which is be strong. We'll sign any documentations you may need for us to get things finalized for you and things like that. But they really, I don't want to say, because I have like a few doctors that I really do love, but for the most part, doctors do not have a clear understanding as to what patients go through on a day-to-day basis in their personal life. They can only focus on us when we're there in front of them at our appointments. We get that connection and that conversation, but once you walk out that door, you cannot rely on your doctor. You have to advocate for yourself.
Tell us, how did you find help and resources before you created Linkage Wellness Institute?
Sure. I was fortunate enough to find an organization called 43 Sisters. The founder's name is Shannon Moneymaker, and she legitimately walked me through the whole beginning stages of being diagnosed, the shock of it, how do I navigate, finding me the funding to help me, leading me in the right direction on how to apply for Social Security, things like that. So she was a really huge help for like the first 3 years of my, diagnosis.
What was that like?
It was pretty scary, but I had someone to hold my hand. And so that's what gave me the inspiration to start
We're
what
holding
I'm
your
doing.
hand.
Exactly. This is what gave me the inspiration to start doing what I'm doing. She was great with that. So she held my hand and she got me through.
And would you, say that people that are navigating these challenges should find someone to hold their hand?
Yes. And that's why we are here. That's my phone lines are open 24/7. They can text me, they can FaceTime me, I will email them, I will direct message them, all of those things.
Because that connection
it's important.
is so important. In
It's
fact, you
important.
mentioned a little bit earlier that the connection is what people need.
Yes.
That's what they're missing.
Yes.
And that's what you offer.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think as humans, as people, beings, that's what we want.
Yes. And I think it's very important. So I will continue to do that.
And that's where Linkage Wellness Institute comes through. You're able to kind of bridge that gap.
Yes.
Answer those questions because you have been through it and you continue to go through it.
Yes.
Everyone that comes on The Good Word, we always ask them this question, so I'm going to pose it to you.
Sure.
And I'm trying to remember if I have asked you this question.
Probably.
Maybe I have. But I will ask you now.
Okay.
What would you say is the good word when you factor in your survival, your fight, your fuel? What would you say is the good word?
I would say the good word is love yourself, love life, live the best life that you can, never take anything for granted, advocate for yourself. That's the number one thing. Advocate for yourself. Women, men, advocate for yourself. Don't just listen to what your doctors tell you. If your doctors are telling you something and it's not registering with you, or if it's not making you feel good, or if you still have other issues, advocate for yourself. It's okay to get a second opinion. It's okay to get a third, fourth, fifth, and sixth opinion if you have to, because this is your life and you only get one. So you have to, live it to the best of your abilities and do what's right for yourself. So I would say that would be the good word, just to love yourself and be mindful of how you take care of yourself.
And I will add to that, you said love yourself, live your best life, also advocate for yourself.
Yes.
Something that has helped me in terms of when you're in that doctor's office and you are navigating your health journey, writing down questions ahead of time.
Yes.
So then
Yes, and the doctors love that too.
you can just read your questions.
Exactly, and your appointment goes by smoother. You can get more things covered. So yes, that is definitely something to do.
And I saved the best question for last
Okay.
because it is so important and it is the foundation of the good word. How did your faith impact your journey?
Oh my goodness, without my faith, I don't know where I would be.
That's a whole different show.
Yeah, it was so scary, but if you have a strong sense of believing and having faith in God and knowing what your purpose is, things are going to be okay. Like that's all I really can say about that, because everyone has their own relationship, whether that's spiritually or with religion, and so whatever that lane is for you, I say hold on to that, be positive, and just continue to fight.
And if it's not okay, God is not done just yet.
No, and continue to fight. Continue to fight, continue to advocate, and take care of yourself.
Mimi Frazier, breast cancer survivor, founder of Linkage Wellness Institute.
Yes.
What else do you want to add before we go?
Thank you, everybody, for your support with Linkage Wellness Institute. You can find us at www.linkagewellnessinstitute.com or on social media at Linkage Love. We're always here 365 days a year.
Didn't she have an incredible story?
Thank you.
I told y'all.
Thank you.
Let the church say amen.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm Tisha Lewis with The Good Word. Until next time.